Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Real Madrid in Football Manager 2019. I'm Ater, and today is time for another top 4 drama in La Liga. But before we get into today's game, first let's take a look at what has been going on since the last episode. And well, quite a lot has been going on. Of course, we had that double game versus Barcelona, and then we had the Liga game. And these two were our first losses in a really long time. But since that, we managed to bounce back and beat Levante in the league, and twice. I mean, we lost versus Vigo in Celta Vigo in the league, but then we managed to beat them well, not twice, but once in the Spanish Cup semi-final and a draw in the second leg, which meant that we are going to be playing a Spanish Cup final later on versus Bilbao. And other than that, we also played one more league game here versus Huesca. Probably butchered that name, sorry for that one. Got a decent win. But still, we have two losses and a draw lately. That's kind of unheard of before in this save. But still, we are in a really good situation, because in the league we have been winning and winning other than that loss versus Vigo, which brings us up to first place. We have some safety margin down to Athletic Madrid. And then, of course, we are playing Real San Sebastian. They are down in third place, but still one of the top 4 teams fighting for the Champions League spots. And they are actually currently ahead of Barcelona. That's, of course, huge for them. And today they also have the at-home advantage, making things a little bit more difficult for us. But hopefully we can just overcome this latest draw and get back into the winning streak. Other than that, a few things that I haven't mentioned before. We have seen the draw for the Champions League, first knockout round. And if you remember my last series, the Roma series, I felt like we always got the toughest team. This time around, though, now I shouldn't be cocky, and I definitely have respect for Galatasaray. They are a huge team with a lot of history, one of the finest team out of Turkey, and I mean, they have a huge history. But looking at the knockout rounds now, of course, my skin here gives a really poor reading ability from all of this. But I mean, compared to a lot of teams here like Bayern Munich, Man United, Atletico Madrid, PSG, Manchester City, Juve, Barcelona, Monaco, Liverpool, Roma, I mean, Tottenham, Napoli, there are a lot of teams here that I feel like could have been a tougher challenge than Galatasaray. So hopefully we can get through that one pretty easy. For today's game, there are two things I want to mention. First off, we have 2 injuries. Let's get over here. We have 2 injuries, Caballos and Carvalho. Carvalho will be just back in a few days. Carvalho's like 2 weeks. But the main thing is we have a new signing. It's the lad I was talking about before, Mr. Sensational Good. Look at these stats. He is incredible. He turned down Man United and decided to join us. And looking at his potential ability, he still even have room to improve further. So we may see some of these stats that are already incredibly high go up even further. He must be one of the best players in this game. For his position, basically, because he is fantastic. And he has had a great start. He's played 2 games and scored 2 goals. Look at his average rating for these 2 games. Almost an 8.0 in average rating for these 2 games. Today, I'm starting him in a new position, because I've been using him in this position here as a box-to-box. But for this game, he will actually be an attacking midfielder, because when it comes to my options... basically, I'm resting Asensio for the Champions League game, and normally I use like a weaker player in this position. But now we are playing a tough game against one of the top 4 teams. I felt like we can't do that, so I'm using him in a position I haven't seen him before. But I think we're going to be fine, because he is a sensational player. But now, of course, I've been talking far too much. So let's get rolling here. This is the Real San Sebastian team we're up against. Some names here that we all recognize. But, I mean, our team have even more recognizable names, doesn't it? Now the question, what do you want to say here? Maybe just something like that. Yeah, they all agreed. Beautiful. And it's a game on. And the rain pours down as this away game starts. And it's kind of difficult because, as you saw, we have the Champions League game coming up really, really soon. And that's why I am using a bit weaker team for this league game. Because clearly I want to win the league. I'm desperate to want to win the league. But right now we have a little slight safety margin in the league, which definitely gives me room to prioritize the Champions League right now. And that's why, look at that. But players like Benzema, Bale, I mean, quite a few of them, Sergio Ramos, they're all not in this game because we are resting them for the Champions League game. And that, of course, can come with a steep price because here is Sandro and Real San Sebastian takes the lead. And yeah, that's the risk we were willing to take. And now we are paying the price for arresting some of our stronger players for the Champions League game. But yeah, this was what we can call a calculated risk. We knew that was going to be a really tough away game against one of the top 4 teams. But at the same time, I feel like we have the room to prioritize the Champions League game. And hopefully we can turn this one around. Because looking at statistics, we actually created more chances. And here's Kroos for the corner. It goes far, and it looks like we might see a penalty. Let's see here. The ref is going to take a look at the replay here from the video system. And now let's pray to the football manager RNG gods that we get that penalty that we so desperately want. Let's see here. And look at that. It is a penalty. Just what we wanted. And this could be our chance to come back. But we have missed penalties before in this series, but not today. Isco makes no mistake. His 9th goal of the season. And we are back in business. And of course, this is coming just before halftime too. Perfect timing to just have them going into the dressing room. Our team will be fired up, remembering this goal, being so motivated. Well, they will be sitting down there thinking about, oh, we were so close to leading at halftime. And that, of course, going to be devastating for their morale. But clearly, we can't be really pleased with this one. I mean, look at these ratings. I don't even have to say anything. You can see the numbers by yourself. 6.1! My gosh! So we're clearly going to tell them that we are not pleased, even though it's a draw currently. There is a lot of room for improvements here. And he didn't even react. So I want to talk especially to you, because you are the one with the worst rating we've seen here today. I still didn't care. Well, body language shows motivated, so I guess maybe something. But I was hoping for a stronger reaction. It really was. And here is the first highlight of the second half is Toni Kroos for Sergej, Kroos, Marcelo, Kroos, Drinkwater, Sergej. Yeah, I could have gone for 3 goals in 3 games, but I guess that one will have to wait a little bit longer. Vallejo just gives it away. Come on, bro. That's not okay at all, because now we're going to be under pressure instead, and we don't like that. We don't like that at all. Is that going to be a free kick? It's clearly going to be a free kick. There was no way he was inside the box, so I'm not worried right now. He was definitely far outside. But it will be a free kick probably. But I am not worried for a penalty here. Clearly got to be a free kick. Yeah, outside the box. As I said, I saw it ASAP when it happened. I wasn't even considering it to be a penalty. But still, it's going to be a free kick in a very good position here for our opponents. And this could be a most dangerous situation. They have a lot of players now in box. Clear by the wall once and twice. But, oof. Well, that was a little bit closer than I wanted. I think it's time to demand more, lads. I do demand more. I am your leader. And here's Toni Kroos with a free kick. And just over. Decent try, just not good enough. The clock ticks away. And ticks away. And ticks away. I think it's time for some subs here. Let's see what we can come up with. We have some different options here. And let's see. I mean, Sandro's been fantastic, Sergej, in the previous games. But now, when you guys are looking, all of a sudden he's down to 606 rating and he's nervous. We're going to try to bring him over to his stronger position, changing place with Drinkwater, and then Drinkwater will bring in a kid here. We're still going to save Asensio for the Champions League game. Same with Modric. So we're going to bring in a kid here that's not that great, but maybe it's going to be hugely motivated for this one. And we need to sub you. 6.1 rating, like really, we just can't keep you on. You're off. I'm sorry, mate. Let's get a little bit creative now, guys, because I expect more. We are dominating things here. And here is Isco going for a notch on the right flank. With a cross, cleared. Tony! Oh, Tony! I was about to say scores, but clearly he didn't. But it was a really, really good try. So we have one last sub. Kroos is tired. Should we go for him? I mean, we have so many options. Like, everybody's playing like garbage. But I think we're just going to prioritize fitness right now. We are going to bring in Modric for the last 10 minutes, even though he's going to be starting the Champions League game. So many nerves, guys. Why? Show some passion instead. Clock ticks away into extra time. 29 shots. Still only 1 goal. I'm guessing this will just be the end of the game highlight. Which means, unfortunately, for the second time this season, we have picked up a draw. Once in the Spanish Cup and now in the league. And I don't care, we are Real Madrid, we should be winning every single game. So if you're not winning, I need to tell you guys that was not good enough. But it's, yeah, kind of frustrating game considering how we dominated things. 29 shots, still only managed to find the net once. That's just not good enough. And we need a penalty to be able to do that. We should have been able to score at least 2-3 goals when we are creating this amount of chances. So, I mean, at the same time, the price we are paying for using a weaker team, I guess. And hopefully this will pay off in the Champions League. Because clearly, guys, the next episode will be the Champions League game. The first knockout round. And I'm going to be there, and I know that you guys don't want to miss it. So, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.